everybody, it's Claire here from Sewing by Claire, and wow, what a week it's been. So I'm doing an update video for you today because I've been a little delayed in my stitching time that I've had for the last fortnight really. But I'm not complaining because it's all been lovely, but obviously it just means for you guys that might be waiting for the winter dress, which was going to be my next project from Quilting and Sarah Peel in the Lunar Lapping range, then that has been slightly delayed. So I do offer my sincere apologies for anybody who's waiting to make that dress as part of an outfit for Christmas, but I promise it is on my list to be done as soon as, well, I say ASAP, but as soon as possible, in order that I can get that edited and up and out for you. So this one's a much easier video to make rather than all the stitching time, because as I say, I'm just behind this week, so please do accept my apologies. I am surrounded by a whole host of things that I've got to show you, so I hope that there'll be something of interest for you here. So I'm just going to explain first of all and just give you a bit of an update as to why I was short of my stitching time this week, and that is because I had a lovely visit from my mum. Now I know that I let you know that my mum had her knee replacement last May, end of May, and she's doing really well with that. So she now walks without a stick, which she was managing to do beforehand, but she's recovered enough that she can feel stable enough and she can walk without her sticks. She's been told it's a year recovery time for her new knee. So obviously she's only not even quite halfway through yet. She's still a little bit nervous about it, but I think that anybody would be, in terms of just trusting it and that it's going to hold her and hold up while she's doing what she wants to do. But she's doing really well with that, and she is on the list to have the other one done at some stage. And although it's a painful operation, she is in less pain now from the knee that she's had done than she was before she had it done. So it's all positive and it's all movement in the right direction, but she isn't always very patient, and she absolutely hates relying on anybody else. So she doesn't like the fact that we fuss around her, and that we're saying, are you okay, mum, can you manage this, and what have you. So just trying to navigate that can be interesting at times, but you know, she knows that we mean the best. By that I mean I'm one of 5 children, so me and my brothers and sisters, but also while she's over, then we're just making sure that we choose things that she can enjoy and she can do. Going uphill can be a little bit tricky with her heart, but other than that, then, you know, we can manage quite well. And there's quite a lot of hills over here in Spain where I am. For those that are watching this video as a first one, sorry, I keep wanting to adjust my dress. I'm an English expat from Derby in the Midlands, so Derby, Nottingham area I lived all of my life, and then nearly 5 years ago now we moved over to southern Spain, so we're on the Costa del Sol in Andalusia. Oh, and that's something, if you've not watched it before, if you wanted to see roughly whereabouts I am and what it's like here, then if you look out for the Michael Portillo's show Andalusia, then we've watched the first 2 of those, and they are really, really lovely. He's a good presenter. He's half Spanish himself, so he speaks the language, and he has a love of Spain anyway. But he did Malaga in the first week, and then he did Granada, and also no, sorry, I apologise. He did Granada in the first week, which is one of my favourite cities, and if you ever get a chance to visit, it is beautiful. And the Alhambra, which is up on the hill there, just overlooking the whole of the town, is a fabulous trip. You probably might want to split it over 2 days, and depending on your mobility, there's a lot of walking involved, but absolutely stunning place. And we've been a couple of times. We did the main Alhambra and the gardens, which is it's spelt as General Life, but you actually pronounce it, and if I get it correctly, as Generalife. So it's kind of quite different when you look at it written in the English. Well, in the Spanish it is, but in the, you know, in the same way, and then try and put our English spin, so it looks like General Life, like sounds like a life company or life insurance place, but actually it's Generalife, and it is absolutely stunning with fountains, fruit trees, just the way they're all just set out, and the courtyards. It is just a beautiful, beautiful city, and the city is quite cosmopolitan as well, so it's not a little white village at all. It's really cosmopolitan and got lots and lots of fabulous balconies and facades. The architecture is just lovely, so I really love that, and lots of places to stop and eat and enjoy the tapas and have a great time. So as I say, Michael, I think it's on Channel 5, but if you do a search on Google for Michael Portillo's Andalusia, then something should come up to tell you about it. And as I say, first one was Granada, as I just said, and then the second one he went to Malaga, and then he went on to Ronda. So we actually live off the Ronda Road, which goes up into the mountains. Not the way he went. We go a different way. But again, a lovely city, and the first time that Rob ever took me to there, when we were courting, we drove over that bridge, and I had no idea of that drop below, and the bridge is all cobbled on top. And then afterwards, once we parked up the car, and then he said, come on, I want to show you something, and we walked back, and you just look at that gorge with that amazing bridge, and you just feel a bit, whoa, I can't believe we drove over that, and you know, had no idea that it was there. So fabulous places to look at and to have a look and see, and that programme's really interesting. So the other reason why that's interesting is because we took Mum to Malaga for the day as well while we were there, and we went around the cathedral, and it was beautiful inside. We had a lovely day. We stopped off for some montaditos, which is like baguette bread, but then with all fillings over the top, and you get them all different ones in like self-serve trays. So we had a lovely time doing that for the day and going around the cathedral, which she really, really enjoyed. So it's just the whole trip was 10 days for Mum coming over, so it takes that time out. And whilst we carry on with some bits of our normal life, then you know, it's 6 months since she's been over. We don't have that many visitors in actual fact. I know a lot of people think, oh, you must be inundated, but I don't know why, but people just don't seem to want to come. So that's a bit of a shame for us, but you know, it still means that we love it when people do come to visit us. So we thoroughly enjoy that. Mum's hobby, I nearly said obsession, did you see me? I hesitated, but no, it's not obsession, is that she likes clothes. So she loves clothes shopping and browsing, and she loves the markets and trying things on. So she brought with her 3 pairs of trousers for me to take up, and then also a dress that was too loose on the armholes, and she's short, she's just around about 5'2", I think. So I had to then lift the dress up and redo the neckline at the front and the back and attach the bias trim. So I did all of that for her while she was here. I think then she bought another pair of trousers that she'd sent back with me after I visited last time to shorten for some jeans. So I did that. And then she's bought another dress, which is lovely and looked really nice on her and very different to her normal style. So I think she enjoys the fashions over here because they are just that little bit different. And there tends to be quite a lot of colour here, which doesn't always translate so well back to the UK. I mean, it can do if your aesthetic is that you like the colours, but sometimes I think, you know, we go for the darks and the blacks and the muted greys and what have you, whereas this dress is in a lovely colour. So I'm going to sew that for it. They also have a bit of a trick with a button front where you can stitch down on the existing stitch on the placket on the front, and it actually means that dress won't gape anymore. So I'm doing that with that dress and then just taking the hem up for her, and then I've got instructions to take that back with me in December when we go back, in order that she can wear that in December. So it's great. It's been lovely to see her. She's very grateful to me, and look what she gave me as a gift. It's a beautiful pashmina scarf. Look at the colours on this. Just fabulous for me, and it's silky, really, really beautifully soft on there as well. So I'm a very lucky girl, and I was very, very happy to have that given to me, as well as a thank you card she calls me her sewing bee. So that's a big thank you to Mum for giving me and gifting me this lovely scarf, which will keep me lovely and toasty, either when I visit the UK or on the colder days here, because it is starting to get cooler at night time. So that was one of the things that I wanted to do. Also on the list, we did go to San Pedro, which is our local town, and then we actually went to Estepona for a day, and she loves the beach. So we sat down on the beach. We went and had a paddle as well. It was a bit cold, but people were in the sea, so that was interesting to see. And then we just had a sit on the beach, read our books, chatted away, and just spent some lovely time. And yeah, I'm very grateful to have that time with her. And you know, my heart goes out to anybody who has lost their mum or a close relative that you enjoyed spending time with. And believe me, I do my very best to appreciate her while we've got her. And she's not on her last legs or anything yet, but I'm just saying, I just appreciate spending time with her, and that's been very precious. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been sewing. The other reason is that, for those that may already know or those that don't know, then over in Spain it's very common to live in apartments. Apartment living is by far the main not method, what would you call it, the main way of living, really. And so we moved from a detached house in the UK and came over, and now we live in an apartment, and it does take some getting used to. That is one of the things I would say has been tricky to get used to, because you've now got neighbours above you and to the side of you. You know, it's shared access on the cars, on the drive, the drive that goes past my window. I think I've shown you that before on another video. And so we do have to make accommodations for that. But one of the disadvantages, because we're a ground floor apartment, we've got somebody upstairs, and unfortunately a seal on the back of the toilet went on that in that apartment, and there's a bathroom directly above my sewing room. So I was sewing away. What was I making? I think I was doing some alterations. Do my trousers for Mum, and well, her trousers. And all of a sudden the light in my sewing room went off. The one I've got above me here just went off, and then I heard the fuse box trip as well. So of course my husband and I sort of looked to investigate, and we thought, well, something's tripped it. Tried to put it back on again, and of course it wasn't having any of it. So anyway, in the end I said, look, I think it was the light in my sewing room. I don't quite know why, but I think it was. Anyway, we got the ladder out, got up the ladder, started to take the light fitting down, and as he just tipped the light fitting slightly, water dripped out of it. And luckily my sewing machine wasn't underneath it. I'd got and nothing else was on there. It just went onto the table because I had cleared it whilst we were taking the light down, thank goodness. But then obviously that was a Friday afternoon, and the light fitting underneath was, because it's like a spotlight one, was all full of water, which we had to tip out. But then there was a nice steady drip, 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 and I'll put a picture up to show you the state of my ceiling now. In my beautiful sewing room, as you know, if you've watched my sewing room reveal video, then you'll have seen that and seen how how beautiful my room was after my husband had finished putting in my fixed unit, and then we decorated it. Well, now we've got a dirty big brown stain on the ceiling. So luckily it dries out quite quickly, and it has done. But I did have the light fitting down for a while because they couldn't come back until Monday to fix that. And then we've had to then and Mum didn't go back until early Wednesday morning. So Monday, Tuesday, Mum was still here anyway. So we had that fixed. We've had to let it dry. And today is Thursday. Catching up. Today's Thursday, and it's the first day I've had to do anything at all really in order to sort out, because we had some stuff to catch up with yesterday. So it's all gone a bit crazy, which is fine. I don't mind being busy. You know, I like to be busy, but it is going fine. It does mean that everything has just kicked on for what I was planning on doing. So where did I leave you? Let me just have a look at my list, because I've got a list of things to do. I've got on here so that I try not to forget anything, and I didn't think I got that much to say. But you can tell by the way that I'm rabbiting on that obviously I have got quite a few things to get through, but we'll keep on working and getting through those, and hopefully there'll be a bit of something for everybody, and it'll all be of interest. And if you're stitching away or you're doing something else whilst you're watching this, then I hope that I can keep you entertained whilst you're doing that. So that's my plan. So I've got all of Mum out the way and all the excuses as to why I've not been able to do what I had promised to do. But let's just have a quick look first, because for those of you who've have got notifications switched on, then you'll have seen that I finished Luna's dress. Sorry, it's a little bit creased, and because this velvet is beautiful, but it picks up the light and it makes it look really crinkled when actually it doesn't look that crinkled in real life. But we've finished Luna's winter coat, which got this lovely shawl collar on the back there, the lovely bow on the back, and the big pleat. It's got the beautiful bias trim on the inside. And this one was a long video, and I apologise, but I don't apologise as well. I'm sorry for those of you who might come to my channel and think you're going to get a quick and easy video and that it's over and done with like that. That's not how good sewing generally is. Generally, good sewing, you need to take a bit more time, and working with a fabric like this needs a little bit of explanation, and also with the faux fur. These smaller garments as well are quite tricky and fiddly to get into the arm side and to sew all of the seams because you're working on such a smaller scale. But hopefully, whilst the video length might have put you off, once you start watching it, I try not to repeat myself too often, but I try to pack in all of the things that I'm using as tips and tricks and skills in order to give you the best chance of getting as good a result as I have, and hopefully you think I've got a good result on this coat as well. I mean, it is beautiful. I'm glad I chose the red as well, because I think that showed up much better on the camera than using a navy blue or dark green. I think it's navy blue, and so I was happy that I'd chosen this colour, and a really big thank you to Colleen as well, Colleen Molson Hughes, who gifted me the kit for this and the winter dress, and I am getting through those kits now and getting back onto track with getting those videos done. It means my dressmaking has gone to one side for a moment or two, and for anybody who's solely here for the dressmaking, I really do apologise. I think I'm in that crux of whether to streamline and go just down the dolls and the doll making, because I've got that one, and also I've started making Lily Rose dolls as well, or whether or not to intersperse with the dressmaking videos, because I still love doing that. You know, I love this one's the Cashmerette Rose Claire, which I love, with the lovely sleeves and the cuffs. I've made 2 Hampden's dresses as well since we spoke last time. I made a toile, which I was hoping was going to be a wearable toile, but isn't in actual fact. And then I've made another one, but that's waiting for buttons. But I'll put a picture up so you can see it's in progress, and that I've got to get down into town and get the buttons, and I just seriously haven't had time. I've looked through my stash and there isn't anything there, which is a bit of a surprise, but I think it needs something new, so I need to sort that out. But yeah, so I was doing so it's just a question of, I have all of these ideas and all of this inspiration that comes through into my head without looking at Pinterest, without looking on Instagram all the time, but then that has to relate into usable time. And it's not just the fact that then that I'm sewing these things, I then have to record as I'm sewing, which then means I want to explain as much as possible, which slows that process down. But then I've got at least as long afterwards then to watch the videos back and edit them and make sure that they're good and they're interesting, hopefully, and then the upload time as well. And I can't film while I'm uploading because I use my camera. So all of this is just an explanation really as to why it can take longer than you realise. Because at home I can make a dress and or I can make a garment for a character and it comes out really quickly. But when you add all of those, sort of like 3 times the length of time to make something, because of the making, the editing and then the uploading, then that starts to go some way to why it's a slower process than you might expect if you've never done anything like that. And all of this was new to me as well. You know, I've started making the videos, and the video that started it all was the one for Luna's head, how to put the ears in and sew the head together on a machine in an easier way. And I think that video's had towards 11,000 views now, so there was a lot of interest in that. And that's what started the video process and doing all of the YouTube videos. And I'm really grateful for you being here and for following me. We're almost up to 2,000 subscribers. And it's a bit of an ego boost for me, because I didn't think I'd keep 100 of you occupied and interested in what I was doing, never mind about 2,000. So I really want to say a big thank you to everybody who does follow me and follow my channel and is a subscriber, because I really do appreciate it. And if you're watching this and you're enjoying me waffling on, then, you know, if you can hit that subscribe button, I really would appreciate it. It doesn't cost anything to you. It just means that it's a channel that you're interested in seeing. And then on my laptop, when I watch it, if I go into the subscriptions on the menu at the side, there's a subscriptions option. And if you click on that, all of the channels that you've subscribed, it kind of filters those videos out for you into like a short list. and then you can see who you like to watch, and it'll put my videos in there for you. If you also hit the notification bell, if I upload a new video, you'll get told about it. So that's always interesting as well, so that you can know what's happening. But the main way of supporting my channel, in addition to being a subscriber, is just to give my videos a thumbs up if you enjoy it. And I'd appreciate that if you watch any of the videos, just give it a thumbs up if you can work out how to do that on whatever device you're using. And then if you've got time and you've got the inclination, just leave me a comment, because that counts as an interaction as well as the thumbs up does, and that helps YouTube push my channel then to more people. And you might say, why do you want more people to look at yours? You know, you're just trying to, it's just an ego trip. But my main motivation is actually encouraging other people to sew and to learn to sew, and to be able to achieve more than they thought they could. And so that's my main motivator. And that if ever you take the time to read any of the comments that have been written under the videos, they are just so thoughtful and so encouraging of me and what I'm doing, that, you know, it's really humbling. And a lot of people have said it's like either being in a class with me, when, you know, you're sitting over the shoulder and watching what I'm doing, and the way that I explain things, whilst you recognise it is lengthy and that's not for everybody who wants a quick, you know, quick bash it out kind of video. But if you're into enjoying the process of sewing and getting a good result and being pleased with what you've got so that you're proud to show it off, then that kind of stitching does take a little bit longer, and we do need to know those tips and tricks. And I pick those up all the time from the people that I watch, and then I can pass them on to you. So, you know, I love the comments. I always answer as well. I don't think there's any I've missed so far. And yeah, I just that interaction as well will help push my channel to more people. Get back on track, Claire. And it then means that more people are introduced to sewing and can enjoy it with us as well. And just builds our sewing community, doesn't it? That's what we're all about. So, winter coat is done. The winter dress, which comes underneath that, is going to be the next video that I do. But since talking to you last time, if I just put this one to one side, and I've got a whole host of things here. We've also done Hamish's kilt, and I've done that, this one, and his thespian shirt. And if you remember, I talked about how to do pattern alteration in order to make his tie longer if you prefer that. And it's a personal preference, there's no right, no wrong. But the original pattern has quite a thin, shorter tie on it, and I altered the pattern to do this longer one, which I feel is just a little bit more in keeping with what I was expecting from the front cover of the book. So this characters, the winter coat and the ones that I'm showing you at the moment, are all from Cool Crafting, and I'll put their address up here for you, and they are the designs of Sarah Peel of Cool Crafting, and it's all part of the Lunar Lapping range of characters. So Sarah Peel is the designer of Lunar Lapping and all of her clothes and outfits, characters, and you can buy kits and patterns from her online. She does ship worldwide, and there aren't any video tutorial, well there are some but not many, not by the designer. She hasn't any of her own videos out, so I started making the videos really to help people who are visual learners and who are new to sewing and who didn't know how to make them, in order that you got a chance of recreating the characters and the outfits that she's made. But yeah, so that's the kilt and the shirt. Both of those are on, so all of them, because actually the videos for making Hamish, including his tufted legs and arms, by machine, so I machine sew all my characters, then that's on my YouTube channel already. Apologies for all the it's because I'm thinking and trying to talk at the same time, and I don't work from a script apart from my list, so it's all free form, so I do apologise. So Hamish was a lovely make, but I had to work out how to do his tufts without hand sewing those and doing those on the machine, which I successfully did. I've then done the video for his shirt and for his kilt as well, so that will help you and know how to do those. I've also done Otterline, so Otterline's on the web YouTube list as well, and these are her culottes that I've made. Again, they're a bit creased because she's been sitting down on my shelf. I have got her pink fisherman's top, which is done in the baby cord, and her anorak. But when I did a poll in my sewing support group on Facebook to say which ones do you want next. The winter coat was first, the winter dress was closely followed, and I think Hugh the Hound was after that. But I also do want to fit in some other characters because I've also done, so those videos are on the channel anyway already, so you can have a look through those. But I also, this year as well, since our last chat, I made Clara the cat from Lily Rose Dolls, who I really love. I mean, she's just a lovely size. Her outfit's just cute, and I love the fabric of her dress. And the little rose and the little crushed ribbon for her neck, and that lovely bonnet, look at that. And she has bloomers, and she's also, if I can get her to stand, she's also freestanding, so I'm not holding on with my thumb, look, and she freestands. So that's a difference to the Luna Lappin dolls, and I do like that she stands and it keeps her outfit all lovely. And obviously you may like one or the other, or you may like both. I like both, so you know, that's fine. But now that I've made quite a few of the Luna Lappin characters, I really do want to make some more of the Lily Rose dolls. And I've not got the pattern out. I'll get the pattern out in a second, because there's another one that I'm going to make in a minute. So let me just get that and I'll be back in a second. So what I found with making Clara the cat is, and her video and step-by-step is all ready, Sewalong is all ready, and there's one to make her body, her legs, her head, her face, and all of the clothes already live on my channel if you want to have a look. And if it's the first time you've seen her, then she is absolutely adorable, and she's a design by a company called Lily Rose Dolls. Lily's got a double L in it, so Lily Rose Dolls. I'll pop their website up here, and I'm actually an ambassador for their characters and for their designs, and they're designed by Claire and Richard of Lily Rose Dolls. And I'm very happy to say, and you'll have seen my announcement video hopefully, where I am actually working with them to bring their sew-along videos, because they're busy designing and putting together kits and attending shows, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But they don't have time to make the sew-along videos, so they'd seen some of my tutorials before, and they, you know, very happy to, when I spoke to them, they were very happy to say, let's work together, and I'm thrilled. So there will be some more Lily Rose dolls coming, because I've been gifted the pattern for Harvey, and he's in the 16-inch. So Clara is 10-inch, and Harvey's going to be 16-inch, so a little bit bigger, which I think will be nice. Clara was not too fiddly to make, but she is on the smaller side, and so I am looking forward to having a go at the 16-inch. Then I've got the two to compare, and I've been gifted the felt and also this stiff fur, and Claire and Richard do supply the stiff hedgehog fur as an option when you buy the pattern from their website. So you can buy the pattern on its own, you can buy the pattern and the fur, or if you have a look on their website, then quite often you can get a kit for the whole outfit, and that's what I actually did with Clara. Clara was a full kit for all of the fabrics for her body, her limbs, and all of her clothes, and that was there's a kit opening video, so if you want to have a look what their kits involve, then please do, and they are lovely fabrics, and the detail is just great on those. But what I found when I was making Clara is that actually the body and the limbs are the same for the vast majority of the Lily Rose Dolls characters. So whereas I don't want to keep repeating myself with every character I make, so I'm going to do some skill builder videos when I make Harvey, and I'm going to make a generic video for body, a generic video for the arms and for the legs, so that you've got that as a baseline to follow for the majority of the characters. I can't say all of them, because I know that Claire's in the middle of designing, and some of them have got slightly different bodies. I think Hartley the hare has got a slightly different shape to him, so he would be a different one. But some of the principles will be the same, even if the pattern pieces are shaped differently. So you'll be able to follow those and use those as a guide and follow those along. This is my plan. And then I will then go on to doing a separate video for Harvey's head. But I think that will be the same head then for Harvey, for Henrietta, and also for, is it Harold, the little boy one as well? So if you class this as being a man, then there's a little boy hedgehog as well. And so I think that the tips on working with the fur and also for sewing the heads up will be the same regardless of which size you use and regardless of which character you're making, whether it's the female version of the hedgehog, the child version, or the male version of the hedgehog. I hope that all makes sense. It does in my head, but until I watch this back and think, well, what were you rabbiting on about, Claire? I won't know. So, but this will be coming after the winter dress. I want to work on this so that anybody who is or has ordered a kit for Christmas for Lily Rose Dolls, and I know there's lots of you that have done that, which is great. Great that somebody else shares the obsession as well as me, then we can all stitch those together, and I want those videos to be there for you to then pick up straight away, so that when you've got time off over to Christmas, once Santa's been, then you'll be able to have a go at picking that up and sewing along with me. So this is the plan. So winter dress first for Luna Lappin, but then I'm straight on to Harvey the Hedgehog for Lily Rose Dolls, and then we'll be moving forward with some of those as well, because I've got to pick up some fabrics. I'm going to a workshop for Lily Rose Dolls. Claire runs courses or workshops from Quorn Country Crafts in Leicestershire, and it'll be, I think that she might have details on her website, or if you go to Quorn Country Crafts. So Quorn is Quorn Country Crafts. It's a quilt shop in Leicestershire, Eastleigh in Leicestershire. Then she runs classes there, and I'm booked on the December one, so I'll be going along and sewing along with Claire while she makes a character. But I also want to choose my fabrics as well for making Harvey's outfit, and I'm hoping Claire will help me choose that, so you'll be able to see that when I do that. So I'm looking forward to that. If you want to have a closer look at Lily Rose Dolls and their characters and their patterns and their kits, then you want to visit the fabulous stand at the Harrogate Convention Centre this weekend, 16th to the 19th of November. I'm looking down at my notes because Lily Rose Dolls are there, and they're on stand B208. So if you want to pop along and see Claire there, not this Claire, the other Claire, and Richard, and say hello to them, then please say hi from me as well. But they're on stand B for Bravo 208 at the Harrogate Convention Centre, 16th to the 19th of November. So hopefully I've caught you in time to get this uploaded, and you'll see this in time. And so yeah, you can see all of the different sizes. They've got a lovely elephant as well. I mean, he's amazing. And Francesca the fox, and then there's, I think it's Lillian the lamb with their beautiful dresses. And yeah, my fingers are tickling just thinking about having a go at some of these. And as I say, thank you to Claire and Richard for gifting me the pattern for Harvey and also for Clara, because yeah, I'm really going to enjoy doing those. But I enjoy doing Clara anyway, and I've no doubt that I'm going to enjoy the rest. Let me just have a quick look on my list of things, because I've spoken about Lily Rose Dolls. I'll put their details up. Okay, so that's it for the doll making at the moment. I'm going to talk about, well, no, it isn't actually. Let's talk about the festive friends first, because I want to show you those, because and then to move on to a Christmas thing. So if Christmas isn't your thing, then I'm going to talk about some Christmas quilting, a Christmas advent calendar, and also some Christmas characters. So if that's not of interest to you, then obviously I totally understand if you want to sort of get off and do something else or watch someone else. But for those that are interested, let's just talk about the festive friends. I've dropped one here. Oops. So we've got Père Hiver, which is the Father Christmas Luna Lappin character. Let me just show you how he compares in size to Luna. So he is quite a bit smaller than a Luna Lappin is in terms of making, which does make him a little bit fiddly. But he is an absolute delight to sew. And I've got all three of these, because we've got Merry Angel as well, which is this one here. Put my legs down so it just does a bit. And she is beautiful too. I'll give you a close up in a minute. And then also we've got Florin Longfoot, which is the other one. So the three together make up the Festive Friends, and it's a now available as a PDF pattern, I believe, from the Cool Crafting website. But the kits, and you can buy a kit as well. So the kit includes the pattern. So you can also get a make me kit, which includes the pattern, and then a remake kit, which just includes the fabrics for making these. And I bought these as a kit from Cool Crafting. I did change one or two things. So Florin is exactly the same as he is in the kit. So he's got his lovely hat there with the fur trim and the ribbon round on the back there. His lovely bloomers with the bib and the straps, and then he's got his lovely little bells on his shoes. So he's all lovely there. I then made Pear Hiver exactly the same as he was. So this is Pear with his lovely beard, his overcoat. He's got bloomers on, but they've got this lovely tuck on as well. And then the back of the bloomers got a crossover strap and a hole for their tail. And then he's got these lovely fur topped boots on the top of him as well. So he's a lovely one. And then Merry Angel, I did do a couple of differences, so I do need to just let you know about those. So the design of the dress, the character and the wings are all absolutely the same as in the book. I changed the fabric for the dress, and I don't know if the camera will pick up the sparkle on this fabric that I had picked up from Patchwork Dreamer in, I think she's in Cornwall, and I picked that up from her. And this Diamante trim I bought online, and I attached that because there is an iron, and the beads here I'd got some in my stash from an old like party dress that I'd had and saved the beads, so I put those on. The halo is still the same, but it obviously has slightly different trim on it, and I trimmed the edge of the wings with the Diamante as well. So I just tweaked it really just to be how I wanted. The fur trim is all included in the kit. So there is a fabric that's a white fabric, sorry, just getting rid of some fluff. There is a white fabric in the kit, but it had stars on it. And so for me, I felt this was more in keeping with the decor in my house that I wanted. And I just had a preference for this fabric. And I talk about choosing, when you go into all the trouble of making something like these 3 festive friends, if there's something you're not keen on in one of the kits for one of the elements of it and you can find a replacement, then just go ahead and replace that fabric. You know, just try and get like for like if you can do in terms of composition. So 100% cotton if the original's 100% cotton. And you should get the same result. And also don't substitute a stretch fabric where there's a non-stretch fabric and vice versa, because the pattern will have allowed for, so within the coat here, there's a little bit of give in Pear's coat. So you just need to just be aware of those kind of things in order that you can just substitute like for like really, but in a design that you prefer. But these have been a really good make, and I've got a pattern, I've got the Sewalong video for making the base character for these, so the actual rabbit character underneath. But then I've split each of their outfits down, and I did those for the Christmas in July this year. So yeah, that was quite a long set of videos, but they're all there waiting for you, and they'll be there every year. So if you've bought the kit already, or you've not got round to it, or whatever, you could do one character if you wanted to and then move on to the others in future years and just build them up. You don't have to do them all in one go. Yeah, really nice selection there. And Lily Rose Dolls have got some Christmas ones as well, so I'm hoping to do a Christmassy one in the future. It won't be this year, we've run out of time for this year for this year, but we will be doing those. So the festive friends are there if you're wanting to get your Christmas decor sorted. The other thing that I did do as well as another Christmas one is I've got this. So this is a advent calendar, a reusable advent calendar. I made this one for my granddaughter Clementine. I have yet to gift it to her. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's just some family tension just between me and my daughters, which is really unfortunate, and I'm not going to go on about it because it's just one of those things. But I'm saying it because I know a lot of people sometimes have these issues, and life isn't always roses and sweet smelling, but it's how we get through it. And sewing definitely, and my YouTube channel has definitely helped me move forward, cope, manage, distract, all of those things from what I've been doing. But it means that at the moment I'm making some things for my granddaughter Clementine, but they won't be gifted straight away. And some things because it's age appropriate, some things because it takes too much time, but sometimes because I want to wait until they're well received. That's probably the best way of putting it. So that's why I've got this calendar here now, and it isn't packed off to the UK at the moment. But as soon as I'm able to, then I'm hopeful that this will go over to Clementine and that she'll love it, and that it'll become part of her Christmas traditions, and she'll bring it out every year. So I'm living in hope. which is all we can do. So this is the holder for it, which I just made out of some of the scrap fabric I'd got from the backing, and I just put a drawstring top on it. And there is a video on my channel how to make this this carry case for it. But then if I just show you inside, so it's got a ribbon tie which opens, and I thought that was important because if you want to tie it around a kitchen handle or a handle on a wardrobe or something like that, then it needed to be able to be opened. I would suggest though that because a tie like this can be a bit of a choke risk for a child getting their head in it, it's important that you safety first. So I'm not planning that this advent calendar will be left anywhere where Clementine or any or Clementine, because I'm talking about Clementine, will be at risk of getting that tangled around her at all, because it will be kept out of the way. But what I did was, so that's why it's an open bow and not a fixed bow, is so that it can be tied through a handle on a wardrobe or on something else. But then the panel is like this one. So it's a and you buy this printed panel here as a panel, as just as a strip of fabric, and they're sold singularly like that. This one's by Macawa, which I bought online from the sewing studio in Cornwall. And this one's a cat themed one because my daughter has cats and loves cats, and therefore Clementine does too. But also you can get a dog one as well, and obviously there are ones with houses, there are nativity ones, there are just a whole host. If you just do a Google search for fabric advent panel, then this will come up, and you get this front panel. But then if you can see, you've got these little pockets that I've put these little ornaments in. So you've got little treat pockets, and these are on the bottom of the panel here, and then you have to cut them up and then put them together and attach them onto your calendar here. And so there is a video on my channel, a series. This was the Christmas in July the year before last, so before doing the Festive Friends, which I did this year. And I hold your hand every step of the way, and it really is, if you're new to quilting, it's a great starter project to see whether you like quilting or not, because you've still got a bit of the pockets sort of isn't really quilting as such, but you will have piecing to do sometimes when you're making a quilt. But then on the top here there's the hand stitching, which I hope you can see, and gives you the definition around the characters here and around the presents. So I hand quilted that in order just to give it some depth. Before then putting the backing on it, and I've got a little label on as well for Clementine, and to say I made that in 2022 and sending my love. And then I've put the edging strip on the edge of that, the binding edge on it, all of which is very similar. And if you wanted to make a wall hanging for a quilt project, then on this one I've got some dowel pockets, and I tell you how to make those and how to attach those, and I've got that top and bottom so that it holds it and keeps it flat out, and holds its shape, and I tell you how to put that, and that's the back there with the doweling at the bottom. So it's good for a wall art kind of project, quilted wall art or fabric art project as well, and just skip to the bits that you want. With regard to the little decorations here, pop those there, hopefully you can see them, and then I've decorated the back and put a word on the back. This one says dare. Dare to be different, dare to be brave, and I put different words on each of them. I use my little stamp pad, but there is a tutorial. I know it's not sewing and I know it's not stitching, but the ribbons I've recycled from the shoulder straps sometimes you get in dresses to hang it onto the coat hanger. If I cut those out, then I save those, so I've used those for the top. I've got some little beads that I've used from my stash that I've collected over the years, and then I did buy the wood blanks and some glue and varnish in order to make those. So there's that one. What else have we got on here? And I've got those in the pockets because I know we're all trying to have less sugar these days. So there's the teddy bear one, and this one says hug on the back. So Grandma's sending a virtual hug. And so I wanted something that wasn't treat related because I didn't want it to be another chocolate one. But you can use these pockets for putting like treats for dogs or cats in. So if you've got fur babies, then, you know, put a treat in there. And as long as it's up high enough, hopefully they won't be able to get to it. But I use these little ornaments, and the aim is that I will buy her a little Christmas tree for perhaps going in her bedroom, and then or just somewhere so she's got her own tree. And then each day she can take a Christmas decoration out of its pocket and put it onto the tree, or onto a circular door wreath. That was the other thing that she could use them for. And then each year they'd all get mixed up and put back into the different pockets in different orders. They're not numbered, so they'll change every year. And then she can have a look at the pictures when she's younger. I mean, she's only 2, just over 2 now. Or as she gets older, she'll be able to look at the words on the back and think what that means to her, and how it goes forward. So I tried to make it sort of a nice project for her to have and to keep and to kind of grow with her as well. But what you can do at the end is that this just then folds up, and it folds up over the pockets just nicely, folds up on itself like this. And when you're not doing it on camera, it's much easier. And then I just wrap the tie around it like that, and then it just goes inside its matching carry case, and then that's there, then put away and gifted with the Christmas decorations, ready for the next year. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed making that one. I really do. I need another grandchild so that I can make another one. That's what needs to happen. But you never know what the future holds, so you have to wait and see. So that was the advent calendar that I did. The other thing that I've spoken to you about before, which is on the theme of quilting, is that I've actually got I've got a Christmas quilt. You might be able to see a little bit of it just down here that I'm making for her, and that is from this pattern here. And I'll put a picture in closer whilst I'm rabbiting on so you can see that. So this is a quilt designed by Bunny Hill Designs, and I bought it as a kit from Patchwork Dreamer down, I think, in Cornwall, I think. And she supplied all of the fabrics, and originally it was going to be a block of the month. Now in a block of the month, a project like this, if you look, it's actually 12 squares, no, 9 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And each one is a separate month if you're doing it that way. And then there's a couple of months then for you to be able to layer it up with your wadding that goes in between, putting your backing on, quilting it, and then putting your edging strip round, ready to gift it within a year. That's the plan. But I think that in the end it worked out, because of the postage that I was going to need to do, it was worked out better to buy it as one and then to do it my own way. The only problem is I got distracted with Luna Lappin and Lily Rose and cashmerette dresses and everything else, and so I was hoping it would be done this year, but there's no way. It's not going to happen. And there's actually probably more work in it than I realised, and obviously being distracted doesn't help. But I have done block 1 and block 2, and I just finished block 2 this week, because I've started going again to the local free sewing classes put on by the local council in the postal town where I live, and I attend those, and it's lovely to be around other people who like to sew, and I like to see their projects. But sometimes I dress make, sometimes I cut out, sometimes I do other projects. So this time I wanted to try and get this second one finished because it had got a bit stuck and I've been working on it for a long time. And so I took that along with me, and I'm pleased to say that this last Monday, and then with a little bit of finishing off today, once my light and my room was dry, I was able to finish it. So now I'm going to show you those too. So I've got them on this, keeping them open on this hanger just from IKEA with the clips on the sides. That will just keep it all nice and straight for me. So this is the block 1, and I'll do a video so that you can have a quick look, and I'll insert that so you can see in a bit more detail. So it's a plique, and I've cut out these shapes, and then they get appliqued on. And then you've got the piecing for the different fabrics in between, and then it's also got a little bit of embroidery as well with the different words that are on here. So this is block 1. Let me just take that one off for you. So quite big, aren't they? So I think 3 of these across and 3 down, but that's going to be a really nice lap size quilt, I think, for Clementine. It's not going to be too big then as well for me to hopefully be able to quilt either by hand or on my machine, but it'll be a nice throw for putting over her if she's watching TV. So I imagine her watching Christmas films on TV with a hot chocolate and, you know, the quilt over her knee, and that will be a lovely thing that she can do year on year, or putting on her bed when it's in December going up to Christmas, or just because she's not feeling very well, just because she wants to feel warm and cozy. So that's the plan for it, and this is the block 2. So this one is a little bit more work. So I've got a lovely applique bow at the top there, the embroidery on that basket, and then the 3 angels at the bottom, and then the pieced edge. So I've done that one. So that's those 2 that I've done. And then the next one I'll be working on is this one here, this little container with these candy canes in, and then and a little angel popping out over the top. So I want to do some more on that, because I really am enjoying that. And for those that are interested in the quilting, then, you know, I can probably do a bit of a video on how I'm doing it, because I'm doing some piecing, I'm doing some applique, and I'm using Sue Daly's method, no, not Sue Daly's, Laurie Holt's method of for the larger pieces, but then I'm doing needle turn applique for the smaller pieces. And then like on these angels, it's supposed to have little pink sections for their hands and for their feet. And they were just too fiddly to do, so I've actually used satin stitch for those, and that worked really well. So I've embroidered those on instead, and I think that will work quite well going forward. Let me just get my coat hanger back. And so yeah, so I kind of I'm feeling happier about it, and now I'm on to a new block. I think I'll hopefully get some more done as well, and it's nice to be working on Christmassy things as we're getting close to that season. Apologies if you see a lot of my posts about the Christmas projects, but you know, we all know that for a hand sewn Christmas we have to get ahead of the game, and so that's what I've been trying to sort of just promote my videos that have got a Christmas theme for those that are interested. Obviously for those that aren't, then you know, there's still going to be videos for those. Let me just put this back for a second. There's going to be videos for those as well, for those projects that people are interested in as well. So you can just mix and match, and I really would suggest that you have a bit of a browse through the channels and go back through the previous videos and see if there's anything that takes your fancy. There's some dressmaking, there's sewing for children, sewing for adults, there's some wool applique as well, making cushions. So yeah, I like to dabble in quite a lot of different things as well. Most of you know if you've been following for any length of time. So I think, let me just have a quick look through my list, because I think there's just one thing left that I was going to talk to you about, and then I'll wrap all of this up and you'll be able to carry on. And that was just a little bit of cross stitch that I've started doing. Oops. And I'm doing, my Italian is not any good, so this is the pattern that I'm doing, which is Shabby Home by, I think it's Cure e Baticure, I think, but I don't know. I'll pop it on the back here so you can see that detail there if you want to just take a snapshot of that. And so this is my first ever project that I'm doing on linen, and it's quite small, and I do need my magnifying glass and my glasses on in order to do it, and that's my start so far, which is the O of the home. So if I hold that up and then just hold this one up for you, you can see that it's actually the O in the centre, the love heart. And I did find my centre point and find that, and then I'm working out from both sides from there. But I have made a mistake in the scroll bit at the top here. One of those legs is longer than the other. So I do need to find some time when I find I've got to really switch off and concentrate in order to do this. What count is the linen? 36 count linen this one is. I don't know if that's big or small. I just went with whatever it asked for in the pattern. And yeah, I need to unpick that and then just get it, work out where it is right, and then unpick again. But I'm finding it quite a challenge on the linen. I was all right once I got my eye in to get it done, and I'm pleased I got that O finished, but I do need to then carry on and do the rest. But these, the projects that I do like that are long-term projects. Some things you want to get done and sorted and get them into circulation and ready and wearing to go. And then other things, I think I like to treat myself to something, because it's not cheap, is it, to do all of these different projects. But then I don't mind if it takes me a couple of years to do it, or, you know, or even longer, because I know I'll get it done eventually. And it's more about the pleasure of working on it in order to make the project happen, and then it'll join my stitching wall on here. But I don't want to rush it. It's not about forcing yourself to do something. It's not about trying to make it a chore or make it difficult. It's about having different projects so that I can choose one that it fits what my mental space is at the time, whether I want something really focused detail that I can get involved in really quickly, or whether I want something that's a little bit quick and easier that I've done before, or working on a big scale or working on a smaller scale, and therefore you can pick and choose what you want to do. And that's what I do, and I'm sure that you guys do the same with your projects too, to make sure that you keep your interests going. And then interspersed with that, I have to do all the alterations for my mum, which when she brings those over for me, and get those done. And I do have some friends as well who do ask me to do some bits and bobs. And I enjoy the variety. I enjoy helping them because it's a skill I've got that I can help other people with. And with you guys, I enjoy passing on those skills, those tips and tricks, and encouraging you to have a go. Yes, enabling you to perhaps buy another kit or buy something else, but safe in the knowledge that it's not just going to sit in the corner forever, because you've got that extra help in the form of a Sewalong video to get you through. And whilst you might have to wait for me sometimes whilst real life gets in the way, hopefully you know that I do get round to it, and I do make these things done. And if I know somebody's waiting then for something, then that does tend to help me get moving with something as well, and to make sure that it actually happens for you guys. And that's what I want to be doing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas. I'm looking forward to we've got a week away in the UK where we're going to go and see all of my family over there, and see Rob's mum and his son and daughter-in-law, and we're actually going to stay with them as well, which is going to be lovely. So we spend some time with them too. So we'll have our Christmas over there. But this year we're going to have Christmas in Spain. So this will be my first ever Christmas in Spain, and planning some lovely food. It'll just be the two of us, and that's different for me. But then different doesn't always have to be bad, because I will have seen my family in the UK, and I've seen Clementine, and we're going to do something lovely with her. And I'll see my brothers and sisters and arranging to have those, and anybody else who wants to see me, then we'll make sure we make time for them. And then just celebrating really just Christmas our way. You know, we're going to do a Christmas dinner. There'll be nobody fighting over the last piece of Christmas pudding, because that'll be fine, unless I fight my husband for it. I think a Bailey's hot chocolate might just be on the agenda. I think I need to do some practice to perfect that recipe as well. So plenty of testing needed there, I think, which will be good. But yeah, so just enjoying the season, spending time with friends and family, and just enjoying that. So that's where I'm at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed this catch-up video and seeing some of the projects that I've been doing through the summer. It's been a busy one. It's been a hot one as well. Very, very hot over here in Spain. And there's so much more that I want to do and bring to the channel. I want to keep the variety. I'm hoping I don't have to go just down one route. So I hope that if it's not a part of sewing that doesn't interest you, you can just sort of scroll past it. And I'm hoping it doesn't mean that I lose you as a subscriber, because please know that there will be some more of what you're interested in come along soon. I just, you know, I'm trying to please myself, and I'm trying to please the people that are watching, to make sure that there's plenty to occupy, and that's a tricky balance sometimes to get right, but hopefully from the numbers growing, that I'm doing something right and it's working for you and you enjoy the content. And I just want to say thank you very much for being here. I'm so grateful and appreciative of you being here, and for your kind words to me, for the feedback and the encouragement, and for everybody in the Facebook sewing group as well. Thank you for being there as well. We don't post all the time, but it's just a way that people can get in touch with me, and if they've got any problems, we can work on them together. Whereas YouTube's sort of like me showing you, then with the Facebook group, it can be more two-way. You can post a picture, or you can say something you're struggling with, and then I can either come on a one-on-one Zoom call or something like that, or the in the chat in the Facebook group, and we can have a chat, and we can sort some things through on there and help you through, so if you get stuck. So yeah, I do my best. So I hope everything's okay with you. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing what I'm up to, and that you're enjoying your sewing projects and finding a love for all of your stitching, and whether that's knitting or sewing or crochet or whatever you do, then I hope you're enjoying that. And I send you lots of love, a big hug as well for being here and for getting to the end, and I will be bringing you some more content very soon. Take care everybody, happy stitching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.